Coming up on today's San Francisco 49ers Report, going to take all of the questions from the faithful on today's show, and we go live a couple of times per week. And during our live shows, people send in some questions. They send along their analysis, their breakdowns, their opinions of the Niners by using the hashtag 49ers or sending in a super chat. For those of you watching after the fact, with just a regular video, you send in a super thanks. We'll also answer those as well. We start off with our guy Lore, very loyal subscriber to the program here. Why should we sign Lael Collins? Because he has not been healthy enough. What can he bring to our offensive line? And we could pop up the injuries that Lael Collins has suffered over the last couple of years, and you're right, Lore, and that's why I talked about it here on the show, because he's a big name who's out there. He's been let go by the Cincinnati Bengals, but he has struggled to stay healthy of late. You take a look at his injury history. 2016 with the Dallas Cowboys, had a torn ligament in his toe. In 2020, had hip surgery. That's never ideal for a guy his size. And then in 2022, after signing with the Cincinnati Bengals for some solid money after leaving Dallas, had a back injury in the preseason and then a really ugly knee injury, tore 3 ligaments in there. It was so bad, and it came at the end of the year where he won't be able to play at least for another month. So for Niner fans who are interested in signing a Lael Collins, that would be at some point down the road, but I'm hitting pass on that because of the injuries and because of the subpar play. I think he's better slotted too, and he's played his best football as a guard in this league. The average 49ers fan, what other position besides right tackle and the right side of the offensive line needs some help? Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, if Dre Greenlaw is out on Sunday, that's something that will impact you for that game. Oren Burks would be next in line, and then maybe Jalen Graham, D. Winters, one of the 2 late-round picks. They could be active, and I like what I saw in the preseason with them being very fast sideline to sideline, like a Greenlaw, like a Fred Warner, but also having those skills to diagnose a play early. But that's not like a long-term concern for me because the Niners as an organization have done such a great job of scouting, developing, and identifying that position. Elsewhere, this is a team that is very, very deep. Now, of note, Ambry Thomas did get benched for the second half against Pittsburgh. And when Kyle Shanahan was asked about that, he said, we saw some things, we didn't like it, and instead they moved Deommodore Lenoir to the outside, and they put Isaiah Oliver in that slot nickel spot. If Ambry Thomas continues to struggle and the Niners are not confident in putting him out there, that hurts your DB depth. But also at slot nickel, I didn't like what I saw from Isaiah Oliver. And if Deommodore Lenoir, who did look good there, has to play outside slot, then that becomes an issue. Jake Moody was great in week 1, but if he misses a couple of kicks, that could be a concern as well. Stephen Mandler, could Ronnie Bell rise and be a dark horse player for us? So I think his time to shine is going to come in 2024. I don't think it's going to be this year. Now, he did play 7 snaps in week 1 against Pittsburgh, and there was one route in which Kyle Shanahan sent him vertically right up the seam. Brock Purdy elected to just not throwing the football at that time. For him to even get those 7 snaps, that's a win for a guy who the Niners drafted in the 7th round. Clearly has ability. He displayed that in the preseason. Picking up yards after the catch, picking up yards after contact, causing defenders to miss, getting creative in open space, having that physicality to power through some of those missed tackles. Like, he's special in that way, but I said this when he got drafted. I think that he's going to replace Jawan Jennings in 2024 as that guy who can operate out of the slot and maybe even be better than Jawan Jennings. I just think that Jennings is going to get too much money in free agency if he has a season like he did the last 2 years, and then you replace him with Ronnie Bell, and then his time to shine will be in 2024. You know the motto this week, ladies and gentlemen. It is Rams week, so I want everybody watching right now to type Beat LA in the chat. Beat LA, beat LA, you know the deal. Today's show is sponsored by AG1, and we have a great deal that we want to tell you about thanks to our friends there. 5 free travel packs and a year's supply of vitamin D if you head to drinkag1.com/chatsports. This is a supplement that I take every single day, and oftentimes I'll take it after my workouts. I'm on a running streak that's almost at 121 days at this point, so I want to replace what I lose. And with AG1, I'm able to do that. 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, and whole food source nutrients. Very clean ingredients as well. I take very seriously what I put into my body. And with AG1, I know I'm getting a top-tier product. It also tastes good, and it's really good for you. And something that's this good for you costs less than $3 a day. This is a no-brainer. Benefits of daily use that I've certainly noticed. It promotes gut health, really important for me. Supports immunity, and it boosts your focus as well as your energy. And for me, I want to stay healthy. I want to continue to give you content right here on the San Francisco 49ers Report. So I need to boost my immune system, especially with how much I'm working during the NFL season. AG1 allows me to do that. So if a comprehensive solution is what you're looking for in your fitness and your health routine, then AG1 has a great deal for everybody. 5 free travel packs and a year's supply of vitamin D with your first purchase. Go to drinkag1.com/chatsports. That's drinkag1.com/chatsports. Check it out. It's available for you in the comment section as well as in the description of this video. The growth of this channel and the growth of Chat Sports has been incredible to the point where we have incredible sponsors like that. Logan chiming in next. Chase, who do you think the Niners will get this season with all of that cap space? So a couple of options here with what San Francisco could do at their disposal. They could roll the money over to next year, and they could decide to extend Brandon Ayuk as well as Talanoa Hufanga. Hufanga will be entering the final year of his rookie contract next year. So too will Brandon Ayuk after the Niners exercise that fifth-year option. I think that's the move. And I think that Ayuk, with how good he's gotten, and the progress that we've seen now going into year 4, he's Kyle Shanahan's number 1 wideout. And Hufanga was an all-pro last year in year 2. And against Pittsburgh, he was a wrecking ball. So I think the money could go there if they have a massive need that they need to address going into the NFL trade deadline. They could also use some of the money there. So I like the flexibility that this gives San Francisco, both now and in the future too. AJ, what do you think Brock's got to do to be considered top 10, top 5? I feel like the stacked roster is always going to bring his rankings down. Let me tell you why the stacked roster should not bring his rankings down. He was number 1 in QBR among all quarterbacks in week 1, despite the Niners' pass protection rate being ranked 24th among 32 teams in the NFL. I understand that he has Kyle Shanahan as his head coach. He has an all-world tight end in George Kittle, one of the best wide receiving duos in the NFL with Brandon Ayuk and Deebo Samuel. Having Christian McCaffrey in that backfield is great as well. But when you watch Brock Purdy, he still has to run the offense. He still has to execute. He still has to throw to be good and to put up the numbers that he's been putting up with timing, anticipation, accuracy. I love the swagger that he has. I love the athleticism that he displays and the short burst explosiveness that he possesses, because he really is a fun player to watch when he's able to create out of structure and improvisationally. All of those things seem to be legit right now. He also had the best game for any quarterback since 2016 in the regular season at targeting the intermediate area of the field. That's 10 to 19 yards at completion percentage over expected. Number 1 in week 1 and the best since 2016. So don't tell me that he just is check down Charlie out there. He was testing the teeth of that Steelers defense and played very well. What does he have to do, AJ? Put up even crazier numbers, I guess. You win a Super Bowl, and everybody's going to be talking about you. Quest for 6. Let's get it. Byron McCants. Hey, Chase. Should the Niners go after Chase Young in free agency? The injuries scare me to no end. And this is a player who continues to get injured. And 2 years ago, he suffered that torn ACL. It was a bad injury. Because of that, he didn't come back until the end of last year. And then he's banged up going into week 1 once again. Physically, he looks the part. Physically, as a rookie, he had 9 sacks. Dude was a stud. But can the body hold up? And can he have that sustained ability to stay on the field? I have concerns about that for the money that he might demand. What new to 187? Besides Collins, is there anyone we can get? I'm worried about the right side of the offensive line at right guard, Dalton Reisner. Dalton Reisner seems to want to still play. A couple of Minnesota Vikings fans were chirping him on Twitter saying, Dalton, we need you. Our offensive line sucks. The Vikings should sign you. And what ended up happening? He's liking those tweets. That tells me that he still wants to play. He was a legitimate starting right guard for the Denver Broncos last year. I'm not sure why he's still out there because he was pretty solid. Is there something medically that people don't know about? Is there some type of red flag on that medical report card? That could be the case. But really, Lael Collins and Dalton Reisner, two solid players on that right side. We round out today's show with your score predictions. Who do you got, and what is the score Sunday's game at SoFi Stadium right outside of LA? San Francisco 49ers looking to win their 9th straight game in the regular season against those Los Angeles Rams. And you know the motto out there, beat LA, beat LA. And we're going to be doing another watch party for this game, week 2, right here on the show. And for our Super Chat MVP item, this will go to the largest individual donation. We're giving away a Brandon Ayuk signed jersey. It does have the little authentication sticker there on the 11 underneath his signature. That will be our Super Chat giveaway. Going to be a whole lot of fun, and our coverage begins 3 o'clock Eastern, 12 o'clock Pacific. That's why you subscribe. Turn on your notifications. Therefore, when we do go live, you'll be notified.